Yes guys, and welcome back to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Leeds United, away from home guys. Yes guys, let's just get straight into today's video. So we made one change for our last game against Burnley, talking about the starting 11. So we started with Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, James Fernandes, Rashford and Greenwood. Get into the other reaction now. Leeds hold Man United to goalless draw at Ellen Road. Man United held by stubborn Leeds. Ball draw, stalemate. Terrible game, titles finished. Not good enough yesterday. Disappointing. Missed opportunity. We should have won. It wasn't an attacking team. The substitutions came on way too late. That was a draw written all over it. It was a very frustrating and annoying game. Not the result we were after. I thought we controlled and dominated the game. We lacked in creativity and quality. It's 2 points dropped. Was it a fair result? We made it tough for ourselves. We just couldn't find our way through. Something lacked in our play yesterday. First half decent, second half boring. It was a decent performance. Still unbeaten away from home. It is what it is. Up the fucking Reds. Clean sheet done. And we move on. Anyway guys, let's just get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? I think the performance as a whole, I think the first half was a decent first half performance to be honest, but second half was boring, poor. But I think overall, you'd probably say a good performance overall, but not the result that we were after. It was probably a tough place to go to Ellen Road as well, because this is a game that we've not played in over since 2002, 2003, so it's been a long time. But we knew it was going to be very tough. But at the end of the day, we know that we're not going to win every single game. Leeds have not been beaten at home by a top 6 team, so they're doing well at the minute. They've taken points off United, they've taken points off Arsenal, they've taken points off Liverpool and Man City as well, and they played really well against Man City 2 weeks ago, and they were 10 men down as well. Did really well there as well. They're a great team, Leeds. You have to take all hats off to them. I thought they were a little bit more cautious. Couldn't find our way through in the final third, and we just really struggled. I thought we controlled the game really well from start to finish. I dominated the game from start to finish. We controlled the game and we limited their chances, and they didn't really have many chances on goal, did they? Didn't really trouble Dean Henderson. But the only criticism I have to take is having that ruthlessness to make changes earlier and to finish them off, to be honest, as well, which was very annoying as well. Obviously it's one of them, to be honest. You know, and you would just think if those substitutions came on earlier, you would have thought we might have beaten them, and we might have stopped their good run of form at home as well. But you can't say it isn't a fair one. You know, we matched their energy, and we looked we were not going to score. You know, I thought the final third, there was too many poor final third decisions. And you know, it was just little things, and like Ollie said, you know, we missed that spark as well. I think James didn't really help as well. I remember with one chance, James came into the play when he should have left it, and you know, at the end of the day, you've got to take. You know, I think James should have come off earlier, and Cavani should have had longer than 5 minutes, to be honest. But I think there was some very good individual performances. I thought Wan-Bissaka put in a good shift in, Fred as well, Shaw as well, Maguire as well. There were some fantastic individual performances out there. I cannot lie about that. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those games, to be honest. It was a very frustrating, annoying game. I think we sort of, you know, we did that hard work of getting on the front foot, getting around the box, and then we just, you know, we couldn't find the back of the net, and, you know, one of them again, missed opportunity once again, stalemate, ball draw. But yeah, it was not good enough. We should have won the game, but it's one of them at the end of the day. You're not going to win every single game at the end of the day. It is 2 points dropped, unfortunately, but it's one of them. And, you know, not the result that we were after. Obviously, it's been a difficult week. Obviously, what's happened with the Super League and stuff like that. So I think that was in the back of our minds about that. So, and a few of the top 6 teams have not been right since after then, and obviously I think we also had our minds on Thursday as well, which really which I wasn't a fan of as well, because when you think about games ahead, you know, you have to take it one game at a time, and we didn't really do that, I don't think, yesterday. But it wasn't a very attacking team. You would have thought Greenwood, Rashford, Cavani, Pogba would have been there, but, you know, two of them got dropped, and we were just not going for it. And but it just goes to show with the team selection that we put out there, we just didn't have that real quality to go and finish them off. And but yeah, it was a very frustrating, annoying game, but not the result we were after. But I thought we controlled and dominated the game very well, and it's one of those performances at the end of the day. And it was just one of them that we lacked something in our play and in the final third. But yeah, we did. I think it was an okay performance. We did all that good work, and yeah, it's just one of them at the end of the day. Getting into the first half now, I thought the first 15 minutes, I thought we were fantastic. In the first half, we got on the front foot. I think we tried to make things happen. We got in around their box. We were dangerous. We, tried to muscle our way through. And we had a few good chances on goal. Obviously, Meslier saved a few crucial saves. He didn't really have much to do as well. But I thought the first 15 minutes, I thought we were good. It was a good start by Man United. Got on the front foot, tried to make things happen, got a few chances on goal. And then I think we sort of let them back in the game a little bit. Leeds had a response. They had a bit of a 5-minute spell where they got on the front foot and tried to make things happen themselves. I think Leeds looked cautious in the game, and I think neither team took any risks. So it's one of them games, to be honest. Not one team took a risk, but I think we were trying harder than Leeds were, and Leeds were more cautious than us. And obviously it just goes to show that 6-2 was a one-off, and it was definitely a one-off. But that's their heaviest defeat as well this season as well. So, but yeah, one of those performances at the end of the day. First half decent, first 15 minutes was good, and then they had a 5-minute spell, came back into the game a little bit, and then I think we sort of just controlled and dominated the game. And I thought the defending was brilliant as well from the player. I thought the defence was brilliant, and then I thought second half boring, poor, not much happened really. Thought we just controlled and dominated the game. Didn't really do much to trouble their defence. I think we tried to make things happen again, but just nothing paid off. And I think we were just trying to I remember the game got stretched as well, but it was one of them really, and we couldn't find the breakthrough goal. Tried things and tried doing things differently, just didn't pay off. And then second half, I think we were trying to have a few more chances on goal, and then things were not going right. Lacked in something in the final third, poor decisions in the final third. James interfering in play as well when he didn't need to as well, and James didn't really help in the game. And he should have probably. And then I think Ollie should have been a little bit hard on the players and say, if I don't see an improvement in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to make substitutions. He didn't know, and he waited till like the 75th minute to make changes, which is way too late. And that goes to show you make changes. You make your changes on the 75th minute. It's too late, and they can't really make an impact in the game, to be honest. But you can't win all of them. You can't win all the games, unfortunately. It's 2 points dropped against a good team, against Leeds United, but they're unbeaten against the top 6 teams. And yeah, let's see what Tottenham can do. It's one of them games, to be honest. They've done really well themselves, Leeds United. They've had a decent season back into the Premiership, and but yeah, I wish them the best of luck to the end of the season. And we just need to look forward to the next game now, midweek against Roma, obviously in the Europa League. Let's take care of that first, and then we'll look forward to the weekend game against Liverpool. And decent performance overall, but just not good enough for me. And a performance like that, you're not going to be able to score any goals, and that showed it. And Leeds were cautious. We tried, but yeah, not enough, unfortunately, not enough to find the breakthrough goal. In the end, it ended in a ball draw, but at the same time, it was a decent performance away from home. It wasn't the result we hoped for, but what did we lack in the game? I think it was just we lacked in quality, creativity, football intelligence, and decision making in the final third, to be honest. What I mean in quality, we just didn't have the players to really give us that spark, have the creativity on goal. It was not like the Burnley game where we had when we got on the front foot. We were showing that ruthlessness as well. We just didn't really see that, unfortunately. And then I think football intelligence came into play when little things around the box didn't pay off. You know, I thought we had some half decent chances as well, but football intelligence again, I think maybe trapping it back, going for goal and stuff like that. I remember we had a chance and we should have hit it on goal, and just little things like that, to be honest. And there was some poor decision making in the final third as well. James interfering into play when he didn't really need to do it as well. Very poor decisions in around the box. When you make decision making like that in around the box, you're not going to win games. That's showed it last night with the decision making as well. It was all down to one of the counter-attacks, right? We probably would have won the game 1-0. Wasn't good enough. In the end, we just lacked in quality, creativity, football intelligence and the decision making in around the box in the final third. And it showed it. It definitely showed it, and we're just not good enough. It's not good enough, unfortunately. Was it a fair result? I think it was a fair result, because I think you've got to look at both teams. Both teams, I thought, we attacked really well. We tried to muscle our way through. We tried to make things happen, tried to get on the front foot. We tried to create chances. Did either team deserve to win? Probably not, to be honest, because Leeds were too cautious. They defended for the majority of the game. I thought Calvin Phillips did really well to frustrate Bruno Fernandes, and I think the way how they set out, it's good. They're pretty much playing with a back five with Calvin Phillips, and then I remember in the game they brought in another centre-back. It was a frustrating game, to be honest, for us. We tried everything, but we didn't get the result that we got in the end. It is a fair result, to be honest, because Leeds were too cautious. They didn't do much getting on the front foot. I think they only had a 5-minute spell in the game where they had chances. Apart from that, I can't remember anything else. Patrick Bamford had a chance, but the defence dealt with him properly. Definitely a fair result, and we didn't really do enough to win the game. Not enough quality, not enough creativity, and then we made some poor decisions as well in the final third. Definitely, it's a fair result. 2 points dropped for us. You can't win all of them at the end of the day. Why does Ollie bring the substitutions on late, and when is he going to learn to bring them on earlier? Now, this is the frustrating thing with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He always brings his substitutions on very late into the game, so then they can make an impact coming off from the bench. What it is, and what it's sort of got to me today is thinking about it. You go back to our Brighton game a few weeks ago after we came off the international break. He brought his substitutions on and they made an impact coming off the bench, and they got him out of the mud. The Burnley game last week, it was the same thing. We made the substitutions and they got him out of the mud once again. So then you're thinking, well, if we've got this thing of scoring late goals and bringing on these substitutions on late, I want the same thing in this game by bringing on my subs late and get a late goal. But it's not good enough, because the first sub that was made was 15 minutes to go, and that's not good enough. But when we had Sir Alex Ferguson in charge, he brought his substitutions on the 60th minute with half an hour to go, so they can go and make an impact in the game. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he waits longer. He waits longer for those players to make an impact. And you have to be hard on players, and you have to say, if you don't make an impact in that game, you're coming off. You drag them off, because you need that spark. And we didn't find that spark yesterday. And he has to learn from these stupid errors. At the end of the day, this is not good enough. He cannot be always leaving his substitutions late and then get out of the mud and you just do it by 1 goal. And I mean, there's numerous games where we've won a game by 1 goal and we've gotten away with it. He has to learn to stop bringing these substitutions on too late. He made them too late last night and they didn't pay off. Didn't pay off. Pogba came on with 15 minutes to go. Cavani comes on with 5 minutes to go. And I remember in an interview with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he says, if you bring on a striker with 10 minutes to go, that's probably just enough to make an impact in the game. But he gives Cavani 5 minutes to go. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And then it brings Donny on with 2 minutes to go. Just not good enough. And that sums everything up, to be honest. Bringing on Donny on with 2 minutes to go. And McTominay stays on the pitch as well. It's just not good enough. You have to be hard with these players when you need to see an impact straight away going into the second half. If you don't see that impact, you start dragging players off, because you want to win the game, and you want your substitutions to make an impact coming off from the bench. It's just not good enough, and he has to learn. He has to learn. But eventually, when the fans get on his back about this, he then starts to react. He then starts bringing on substitutions earlier. He has to bring these substitutions on earlier. If they don't make an impact in the game, you drag those players off that are not having a good game at the end of the day. And James did all right, but he didn't have a good game, did he? But It's just not good enough, and he has to learn from this as well. He cannot be always doing it as well. Here is my man of the match. You know what? There were some brilliant individual performances. I think when you look back at the individual performances, Dean Henderson didn't have much to do, did he? Wan-Bissaka, he had a top class performance. Lindelof, thought he had a good game. 2 balls over the top to Rashford as well. Maguire had a top game as well. Shaw did as well. Fred did as well. McTominay here and there was okay a little bit. Dan James was probably not the greatest player on the pitch. Bruno had a frustrating game and got angry in the game. Rashford got on goal a couple of times, but it's just one of them. He had one of those games as well. But Greenwood as well. I'm going to give this Wan-Bissaka. I thought he had a good game last night. He deserves my man of the match award. And he's not been my man of the match for quite some time, despite he makes an impact with his crosses, with his final third, stuff like that. He had a good game overall, but just didn't really... It was a good enough performance to be my man of the match, but what I'm trying to say is he does have his purple patch in games as well. I thought last night, top class performance, but unfortunately we didn't get the result that we wanted as well. How do we beat Liverpool? Now, obviously this is going to be a massive game on the weekend against Liverpool. This is going to be a difficult one, a tough one. We know what Liverpool are going to do. We know their qualities. A game of the weekend, obviously. This is one of these games where your weekend is going to be ruined. Definitely, for sure. And this is one game that I always look at. Where is the game against Liverpool? And we've got it next week against Liverpool at Old Trafford as well, and it doesn't really make a difference because it doesn't really make a difference where you are now. You know what, looking forward to this game. It's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. Liverpool, I think they're in a bad patch at the minute. They're not the Liverpool that they used to be, conceding late goals now as well. That's not like Liverpool. I think Liverpool are just having a bit of a bad patch at the minute. They've not been themselves, being knocked out of Champions League football. That was probably going to save their season, the Champions League, and they completely bottled it against Real Madrid. They've not been the real Liverpool, if you ask me. But it'll be funny if they turn up next week. But that's the thing they know. It's a big occasion next week because it's Man United. Both teams hate each other. I really hope we do something on Liverpool. You know what? There's one thing that I'm going to say right now. I think Liverpool are going to be there for the taking next week. We should have beat them at the Anfield, and we didn't beat them because we didn't take our chances. But now, I think they're a team now where you look on paper, they're there for the taking. They've got players like Kabak, who they don't really look at. He came from a team that's in the relegation zone in Germany as well. That goes to show that they were desperate for a centre-back as well. A centre-back that's mediocre, shit centre-back as well. And that's what they go and do as well. But Liverpool, great team, got some real quality players in there, but they've got players out injured. And they're struggling at the minute for players at the minute as well. But I know they've got the squad depth to do it, but they're not showing it at the minute. You know, they've not been the real Liverpool, I know, and I knew they wouldn't win this league, definitely. I knew it, definitely they wouldn't do it. But this Liverpool team, they like to get in between the lines, and we always know that they're quick in the transition and they're always a threat on the counter-attack. And that's why you're urging our defence to do our defence properly. We've got to defend properly in the game. I think obviously with the back six as well, and the pivot with Matic and Fred or whoever's playing there on the weekend, have got to do their job. They've got to defend properly. We've got to keep it tight and compact at the back and make it frustrating for them as well. But they'll like to try and stretch us out though as well. They'll always try and stretch us out and, you know, put the ball out wide, get the crosses into the box as well. Trent's crosses are always dangerous into the box as well, and you've got to be aware of his crosses because they're always dangerous in around the box. And but now they've got this thing now, the last 2 games where they've conceded 2 late goals, and last week it was the 89th minute. This weekend just gone, he's conceded in the 95th minute. So they've got a habit now of conceding late goals, and when they get broken down, you know, the defence is not organised as well. So Liverpool, I think this Liverpool team is going to be there for the taking, and it's our job to be aggressive, to show that ruthlessness, and to, you know, be aggressive, be on the front foot, high intensity, high tempo. And I think it's always, to beat this Liverpool team, you have to get an early goal. If we can get this early goal against Liverpool, they get rattled, they start getting angry, and they don't know what to do. And I think in recent weeks they've lacked in ideas going up front. And what they'll do, Liverpool, is they'll get in front of the game, and then teams sort of react, and then they don't know what to do next. So I think it's all about, you know, it's like what Fulham did. I mean, at the end of the day, if Fulham can beat this Liverpool team, we can beat them. Burnley beat them as well, and Brighton did as well, I think. So it just goes to show who they've lost to as well. And they've lost 6 home games as well this season. And I mean, if Fulham can beat them and Burnley can beat them, we can beat this Liverpool team as well. And it's all about you have to defend properly. You have to keep it tight and compact at the back. Don't make any mistakes. You've got to stay tight as a unit. We've got to be a unit at the back. And what it is when we get on the front foot, when we get these chances, you have to take your chances. If you don't take your chances against Liverpool, you're going to be kicking yourselves. You have to take your chances. We didn't take our chances at Anfield, and that punished us. That punished us, and we cannot afford to do that once again at Old Trafford. When we get these chances in front of goal, we have to take those chances. We have beaten this Liverpool team as well this season. We beat them in the FA Cup, and that's when we targeted their inexperience, and that's why we targeted that back four of theirs, because it was so inexperienced, and it's still inexperienced right now. I know they've got Fabinho in the back four, but Fabinho's playing out of position as well, and I think you have to target Kabak as well, because he's the one that's going to make some rash decisions. His decision making's not great as well, and they always target Kabak. I've seen it against Leicester as well. I've seen it when numerous occasions where they've got on the attack and they've gone and done the biz. And we have to do that against Liverpool. We cannot afford to always get in front of goal and not take your chances. We have to take our chances against Liverpool. And you have to punish this Liverpool team. Defensively, we have to keep it rock solid at the back. We've got to be ruthless against this team. Be aggressive, get on the front foot, high intensity, high tempo, get between the lines, be aggressive, be ruthless. And we defensively got to do our job, make it a frustrating day for them. And when we get these chances, take your fucking chances. And when you take your fucking chances, you'll go and win the fucking game. We're beating them once this season, and you can do it again. We're just gotta keep doing it. And the more we keep trying, the more fight we show, we will win that game. We just gotta have our hopes up, and we've got to keep grafting. Don't give up in this game, because this is a game that I do not want to lose. This is game of the weekend. I don't want to lose this. I want their weekend ruined on Sunday as well. Go and beat this fucking team. We're capable of beating them, definitely, for sure. Getting into the stats now, possession for Leeds, it was 44.2%, and for Man United, it was 55.8%. Goals for Leeds, it was 0, and for Man United, it was 0. Total shots for Leeds, it was 6, and for Man United, it was 16. Shots on target for Leeds, it was 3, and for Man United, it was 4. Shot accuracy for Leeds, it was 50%, and for Man United, it was 25%. Shots inside the box for Leeds, it was 3, and for Man United, it was 9. Shots outside the box for Leeds, it was 3, and for Man United, it was 7. Total passes for Leeds, it was 385 passes, and for Man United, it was 483 passes. The pass accuracy for Leeds, it was 77.7%, and for Man United, it was 85.5%. Getting to the substitutions now, James went off for Pogba. Talk about Dan's performance, did not vindicate his recall, was treated roughly by the Leeds players, but decision making on the ball was poor when United looked threatening. Rashford went off for Cavani. Talk about Rashford's performance, tormented Luke Ayling and tested Ilya Millier with a dipping free kick in a bright first half. Could not carry the passengers in the second. Fred went off for Van der Beek. Talk about Fred's performance. Pressed eagerly in Solskjaer's trusted triangle, but had little influence until he played Mason Greenwood in with a perceptive pass. Next up, we've got Liverpool. This is a game that I do not want to lose. This is game of the weekend. I'm looking forward to this game. We know it's always going to be difficult and tough against Liverpool. Great team, great manager, got great quality players. They do have players injured as well. Looking forward to this game though against Liverpool. Going to come into this game, I think they'll turn up themselves, because they know this is a game that they don't want to lose. We've got a massive rivalry, and obviously whoever's going to lose this game will have their weekend ruined, and I do not want to lose this game. I do not want my weekend ruined. This is a game that we always look forward to against Liverpool. I hate this Liverpool team, to be honest. I want us to beat them now. I think they're going to be there for the taking, and we have to be aggressive. We have to get on the front foot, and we have to take our chances against this Liverpool team. And obviously, of course, they're sixth in the table at the minute. They may not even get in top four as well, and that's how bad they are right now as well. Can't even get in top four as well. They might even be they'll be looking at bloody Europa League football next season, and Thursday night football isn't going to be good for them as well. We need to take it into consideration that we need to beat this Liverpool team. They're going to be there for the taking. We have to take our chances against them. We have to defend properly, and we know that we're going to be dangerous on the counter-attack. When we get the chances, we have to take our chances as well. If you ask me, this poor form of theirs probably started back in December against West Brom, and they went there and got a draw. Whenever teams go to Liverpool, they're hopeful of getting something out of it, because Liverpool, they know that they're not good enough right now as well. And if Burnley can beat them there, Fulham can beat them there, we can beat them at Old Trafford. We can give them a good hiding as well. Let's beat these Scouse bastards. So far, Liverpool are scoring 1.7 goals per game. So far, Liverpool are conceding 1.2 goals per game. Liverpool have the 8th best defence in the league, and we have the 3rd best defence in the league as well. Liverpool have won 15, drawn 9 and lost 9, which is very unusual for Liverpool, losing 9 games as well. They've lost to Villa 7-2, Southampton 1-0, Burnley 1-0, Brighton 1-0, Man City 4-1, Leicester 3-1, Everton 2-0, Chelsea 1-0 and Fulham 1-0. Liverpool have lost 3 games away from home. Liverpool had a decent start to the season, and in recent weeks they haven't been the same. The last time Man United beat Liverpool was on Saturday the 10th of March 2018 and it ended 2-1 to Man United. The last time Man United lost to Liverpool was on Sunday the 19th of January 2020 and it ended 2-0 to Liverpool. The players to look out for is Alisson, Robertson, Matip, Trent, Fabinho, Ronaldo, Thiago, Milner, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jones, Bakary, Firmino, Mane, Salah, Jota and Origi. Hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the video in the next couple of days, and peace.